All right, second grade. Here is the other part of Unit 5 with money. And I incorporated Unit 7 into it because Unit 7 also has some money in it, incorporating some word problems. So likely that instead of just a week on money, I would advise taking 2 weeks. Or, more if you need it. Kids just don't get enough of that money practice. So you guys this is just some ideas here to use throughout the day if you wanted. Here are some pages of coin flashes. You could print these out, cut them out, and then just show a kid on their way out to the recess or lunch or bathroom or, waiting in parts of the day. You could also, instead of using the cards, you could just grab some coins and each kid, you're like, okay, this kid can only have pennies and like nickels. Or could this kid do some quarters and, ramp it up for others. You can make use of this Money Pieces app for warm-ups as they come in, or if you're not liking what I have, this app, if you haven't played around with it, is an amazing one. So over here on the side are the value of each coin, but you can just go here for the actual coin. So you're like, all right, here is the amount I want you guys to figure out how much this is worth. Okay, what if I have this amount of money? You guys go ahead and write down how much you think it's worth. Okay, and then you could press down here after a certain amount of time and go like, okay, now we're going to count it. Boom, and now, wait, they just turned into these place value pieces as to a dime is worth 10 and a nickel's worth 5 and a penny's worth 1 and 1. So now it's like easier to count together. And then underneath I might go, okay, this is 10. And now I'm going to count on 15 and then count on 16, 17. Okay, so this is 17 cents. Or written as a decimal, I'd put the money symbol with a 0, decimal point 17. Technically speaking, you would not put the cent symbol in this $ decimal one. It would only be here with no decimal. Okay? Alrighty then, let's go back to this. Oh, also on the money app down here, you could have a shade over your money amounts. You could put the shade. You could use, I think they have, well, you can peruse it yourself, okay? Because they have various hands you could use down there too. All right, Smartboard file with all the things I'm listing below. There it is, and the new money math room. Let's check it out right now. The new math room. I split it between place value and money. So here's the money one. Nice window out to spring, right? Because we might change this to March, depending on when you're doing money. The more you learn, the more you earn. Oh yeah. And then if you go here, you have all sorts of things dealing with money. You have me going through the coins and then practicing holding it up and going through all the coin songs. I am talking to kindergartners in this one, but it goes forth to every grade level. And then you have Jack Hartman, you have me with Nancy Cinderella singing with it, and then you have me counting quarters. Then you have some great games, so peruse those. This one's amazing, working your ways up the levels. This one you can make various money amounts, and then you can also make change. And then again, working your way from beginner to expert in ABC, money. If you go to the calendar, that's going to be your same stuff that we already looked at from before with place value, math room. This one's for number corner. And then I have different books in here, different read alouds all about money. Some of them are better just muting and you reading it, and some of them are pretty good to where they could just listen. But they're all read aloud money ones. And then you have your addition and subtraction practice, which was the same as last time. And then these are money games from, this one's from kindergarten, and then these two are from your second grade. So you can read up on those. If you go back to the notes, the plans, I've split it into 8 days. Could become 10, 2 weeks, 5 and 5. Just making various ones longer. So I have it starting out, and you could totally change all this, right? Depending as you go through and you're like, oh, I like this better. Because here are some other ideas in here, okay, of what you could use. So what I have in the Smartboard file, day 1, boom. you'd start with money poems from me. And this is, again, it's me making this video for kindergarten, but I do say I use these in the video. I say I use them all the way up to my 5th graders. And you would have piles of money out, coins out on desks, and then they would work with me in the video and we'd go through all the money poems that they've learned since kindergarten. Okay? And then here's the pretest if you wanted to give that out to see what they know with money. Then you go into Jack Hartman's song with money. And then there's a practice page. This is from Intervention, Bridges Intervention, which I liked some of their practice pages, so I've incorporated that in here. The practice sheets, I need to link that up. I'm just noticing, but those will be in your notes if you want to use them, okay? Then you go on to day 3, and again, you have a new coin song with me and Miss Cinderella, and then we practice counting by quarters together. And then whiteboard time. That means take out your whiteboard and you have coins on your desk. Go ahead and take out 1 quarter, 2 dimes, 1 nickel, and 4 pennies and try and figure out how much is that worth, okay? And then that same amount right here, you're going to write that in cents and also with the decimal point, okay? So we can see what that's worth. You could use your money app to do this if you liked looking at those amounts better using the money app, because then you can see those grids as to how much each coin is worth. Then I just have these that are already pre-made. So like here's a mild one, medium one, spicy one, because we have it dealing with a quarter. Go ahead, you guys. We're going to try to count this out. And they're trying to find those amounts. It's just more practice with money. Come day 4, again, same thing. We have the songs and then making that amount of money and writing those amounts, having a mild, medium, spicy. And then there's a game called 3 Spins to Win. That's a good one that you could partner up kids and have them play against each other if you want to go there. Then come day, let's see, this is day 5 with Sarah and Ben. So now we're giving them 2 different money amounts and we're comparing them. So how much money does Sarah have in her piggy bank? How much does Ben have saved up or in his pocket, right? How much did he find? Sarah found this out at recess. Ben found this out at recess. How much more did Sarah actually find than Ben? Because Sarah actually found more. So we not only need to know both amounts, but we also need to figure out how much more that is. Okay, and then we have a practice page on comparing amounts. And then we have me drawing a monster, like I could not get an open hand out here. So I just drew like this weird looking hand and I called it the monster hand. So here's Jane's hand. These are 2 hands. Yeah, those are her 2 arms. You could totally redo this yourself. But the idea is here is how much she has in an open palm. You can see all the coins. And then this one, we cannot see the coins, but I name them. And then how much is this all together? Again, you could remake that in the Number Pieces app. Or the money app. And then you have, let's compare some amounts on a practice sheet. Then you go into some word problems and you guys have these poster things in Unit 7. If you want to get them out, you have them in color on nice paper. And then you notice, wonder what's happening in the Ant Stuff store, in the toy store. And then we look at what's actually going on in this problem and see which bubble it actually turns out to be, and we solve it together. If you don't like that one, there's one about the corner store. You can notice and wonder that and come up with a problem there. If you don't like that one, there's the craft store. You could talk about that. And then we have practice pages from the intervention that is going shopping and more wordy type problems. So I just gave you more of the Ant Stuff toy company because there's more different problems for each one and figuring out which bubble goes with what. If you look back to the notes, I went through all these days. Then if you go down to other money ideas activities, there's the Greg Tang money game. This one I show in the math room. And you might take a day with your class and actually like work it through together on the smartboard and see how to actually play it. Then you have Money Master, which is also in the math room. You'll want to click on the United States so that they know where in the world the United States is and where there's different money as you go around the world. So we want to practice the one that's here in the United States. And then we have ABCA, which is another good one to practice money, and that's on the math room. And then we have money games from Mandy Harris 2 years ago. She shared this out 2 or 3 years ago. You can look through here and see some games that she shared that maybe you want to try in your class. I found these games from Miss Giraffe. I've used some of her stuff before, and some of them looked really cool in there if you're looking for other ideas. And then I just have some read alouds, Money Madness. This is the same author as the Place Value Monkeys book, so I thought that one would be good. And then Alexander, Who Used to Be Rich, is always a famous one to use, and kids could be acting it out with actual money. And there are other read alouds found in the math room. The last thing to note is there are some new Google Slide tech enhanced activities that I've shared with you on other units. There's 3 of them here that deal with money. You can peruse those. I also inserted 2 of them up here. So one of them's right here when I start comparing amounts in the palm of their hand. With Sarah and Ben, you could use this tech enhanced activity instead of looking at what I made up right there. And then if you scroll down further, the other tech enhanced activity is right here when we start doing Jane's monster hand. So you're like, oh, no way, I'm not using Jane's monster hand. I'm going to try using this with my class and talk it through, or maybe you want to share it in Google Classroom for them to try themselves. Okay? All right. The other tech enhanced activity that I did not share up there is this one about word problems, story problems, but that would be them making them up and you sharing them together, so you can look at those. Okay, money, money, money. Have fun with money.